Alright, what's going on, guys? In today's video, we'll be talking about my favorite death metal band of all time, the gods of death metal, Dismember. Now, I first heard these guys when I was around 18. I think it was just on YouTube at like 3 in the morning, and I stumbled across Override of the Overture, and I heard the first 2 minutes of that song. The first 2 minutes, and I immediately just closed the tab, went to eBay and just just bought the CD, found a copy of the CD and ordered it immediately. Like I was just that blown away. And then I got the CD, put the album on, it just ruined my life in the best way possible, of course. I'm gonna be showing off my collection of Dismember albums, multiple format. They're the only band in my collection where I have all three formats, so CD, LP, and cassette. So let's get started. Starting off with probably their most iconic album, genre-defining classic, immortal, essential death metal, Like an Ever-Flowing Stream. This is the reissue from 2022, 23, whichever year that was, where Nuclear Blast reissued all their stuff, but yeah, what hasn't been said about this? This band photo should tell you everything. That's like one of the sickest band photos of all time, I feel like. I think everyone that's into death metal knows that. Fucking awesome. And I actually read a story that Fred, their drummer, told of when they did that photo shoot. I think Maddie and David didn't want to take their shirts off. They just kept the leather jackets. And this was actual pig's blood that they poured on themselves. And pork blood is disgusting. Like, that shit sticks to you. It really smells. And just, they literally, like, were walking home. And it's I think they, like, jumped in a lake or something. It was something like that. But it was freezing to just try to get the pig's blood off. And, like, all three of them just, Fred, I think, brought them to his girlfriend's house, and it just smelled so bad, and they just had to shower all of that pig's blood off of him. I don't know if that was his exact words, but it was along those lines. But I always thought that was a really wild story. But anyway, to the music. Override of the Overture, probably their most iconic songs, one of my favorite songs, one of my favorite death metal songs ever written. It just, everything about it just characterizes the band perfectly. Soon to Be Dead, that's fucking great. Just super fast rager in your face. Bleed For Me, that's like the D beat one. And So Is Life, that one's really cool. It's got a little bit of like an atheist thing going on with the riffing. Dismember, that one probably has the best intro. That and then that blast beat part, and then of course the one moment, I think towards the end of this song, right before the guitar solo, Maddie goes, "Suffer 1,000 deaths." Whenever that comes on, I'm always mouthing it or saying it aloud. That's the best part of the song for me. Amazing. And on side B is Skinner Alive. That's like kind of a Slayer type song, just straight up, just thrashy as hell, to the point, fucking really catchy, sickening art. In Death Sleep, that's probably like their most haunting song, I think. This whole album is really haunting sounding, but that song specifically just has such a fucking brilliant, just creepy vibe to it. And then the bonus tracks is 2 demo songs, Death Evocation and Defective Decay. I almost wish that they put Deranged from Blood and Blasphemies of the Flesh on this album as well. Those are probably my favorite songs from the demos. I don't own the demos yet, unfortunately, but they're really cool. Especially since those songs are like, I think the Carnage shares some songs with Dismember because it's the same musicians, 3 of them at least, Fred, Maddie, and David, I believe. But yeah, this is unbelievable. There's a point in my life where I would listen to this every single day. Just the CD front to back over and over. The first death metal album I ever heard was Death Leprosy, but this was just everything I wanted in a death metal band at the time, and even now, like, they're still my favorite of all time. And I also have a copy of this album on CD and not cassette, just CD. But here it is. It's signed by the original lineup when I saw them in Chicago a couple years ago, and that's David's pick he gave me. It's got the artwork on it, and it's his signatures on the other side. Let me show that real quick. I showed it in a previous video, but just for the sake of this one, I'll show it again. Maybe hard to see. It's his signature. He just handed it to me because they were all in their van about to leave. It was after they had played. They were with Sodom and Nunslaughter at the Talia Hall in Chicago. And they stole the show. I love Nunslaughter and I love Sodom, but Dismember smoked both of them. Sorry to say. But it's unreal that I got to meet all 5 of those guys. And they were just so down to earth, so cool about talking to me and signing my stuff, even though the following day they had to be at California Death Fest, so they were all in their van. They didn't have too much time to hang out, but they still took the time, and it was super fucking awesome. And they destroyed their set list. They played every song I wanted them to, except Shadows of the Mutilated. But yeah, they completely destroyed. Maddie's vocals sounded great. The guitar solos, everything. They were so noisy though, because that HM2 pedal. It's wild to see them live. I'll probably never see that ever again, especially considering their original first 4 albums lineup is still intact. It's still as unbelievable to me. I never thought I'd ever see anything like that. Moving on to the second album, I feel like I might like this a little bit more than Everflowing Stream, but like in my top 10 death metal albums video, these are both tied. Indecent and Obscene, of course. Also autographed by the original lineup. Super fucking great. I also have it on vinyl too, just because I love it so much. And cassette as well. Just a cassette. Here's the LP. Fucking killer album artwork, so gory. Sick band photo too. Yeah, this has my favorite Dismember song on it, which is Dreaming in Red. I just think that song is so irreplicable as far as death metal goes. It's almost like a power ballad, kind of like One by Metallica or Fade to Black, where it's like, yeah, it's kind of a ballad, but it's got like heavy parts. That's kind of what it reminds me of, but just a really intense death metal spin on it. But that song is so haunting and gloomy, and probably my favorite guitar solos ever from Robert Sennebeck and David Blomqvist. Those two are probably my favorite guitar duo in extreme metal. I think they're so underrated. They're kind of like the Glenn Tipton and KK Downing of death metal, to be honest. Like they don't get enough attention, and just their solos are so fucking cool and recognizable on every album. They're fucking great. It's just great riff writing too, of course. Like, who could forget that? The first 2 tracks right out the gate are just insane. Fleshless and Skinfather. Skinfather probably has my favorite chorus. That chorus is so damn good. I wish it would go on forever. You only hear it twice, and at the end of the song you hear it, but it's the last line of the song. Use your own eyes. Maddie doesn't sing that part, which I thought was weird because it's such a great fucking chorus. But they both have these great breakdowns in the middle too, like on Skinfather especially. Sorrow Filled is awesome. Case Obscene's cool. Soul Devourer is fucking great. I think I like the drumming better on this one than Indecent. I think it's more dynamic to me. Reborn in Blasphemy, Eviscerated Bitch, that one's crazy. It just comes out of the gate just super fast, and it's a short and sweet type of song. It's fucking great. Ninth Circle, that's my least favorite. To be honest, I think a song from the Pieces EP, like I Wish You Hell or Carnal Tomb, would have been, if that song, Ninth Circle, was replaced by one of those, I think this album would be, I definitely like it more than Everflowing Stream, but Ninth Circle's still a cool song, it's not as good as the others. And Dreaming in Red, of course, like I mentioned. Also, speaking of Pieces, I I forgot. Pieces comes before this album. I should have shown that next. My bad. Pieces EP. Fucking 5 songs of complete just destruction. Even though one of them is a Carnage track and the other is on Everflowing Stream, but this is one of my favorite metal EPs of all time. The guitar tone is somehow nastier than on the first album. It's just so, you can barely make out what the notes are at times because it's just so just grimy and just noisy. It's fucking insane. But yeah, the songs on here, the title track's insane. Super fucking catchy. I Wish You Hell. I think this is more violent and hateful than the first album song-wise. Carnal Tune, that's like a kind of a mid-paced one. I love that song so much. That's probably the best, like, before Massive Killing Capacity, that's probably my favorite, like, I guess more mid-paced Dismember song. It's Carnal Tune, so damn good. Soon to Be Dead, great, and Torn Apart, which is a banger as well. Again, a Carnage song. But yeah, sometimes I think I like Pieces more than all the albums after Indecent, just because of how just nasty it is, and just they didn't like try to overdo it, you know. They just 5 songs is all they needed to just destroy everything. This one, a lot of people, it's kind of like polarizing, I guess, because their sound is a little changed. It's more melodic. It's more mid-paced. I know a few people that just think, oh, it's so slow or whatever, but I love this album. Massive Killing Capacity. This is probably their best artwork, honestly. It's so damn cool. It's like a Warhammer 40k type of vibe. I love the back print on the CD as well. This one I got before it was reissued. It was like $40 or $50, which for a CD is ridiculous, but not a penny was wasted. Every song on here is fucking awesome. It's much more verse chorus type song structures compared to the Pieces in the first 2 albums, but I Saw Them Die, that's got a perfect guitar solo. The title track, it's really like down pick heavy and just thrashy, mid-paced, really fucking good. On Frozen Fields, that one's probably their most like memorable riff. You know it if you've heard that song. So good. Crime Divine, To the Bone, War Dead, Collection by Blood. That one's like kind of a melodeath type song, but it's so damn memorable. It's so different from all the other songs on this album. Casket Garden, that's like kind of their anthem, their mid-paced rager. Fucking great song. Good catchy riffs, catchy chorus. Nania, the instrumental, that one's good. And my favorite on this album ever is Life Another Shape of Sorrow. I did a guitar cover of that on my channel, and for those who don't know, that song is so fucking perfect. It's insane. They played it when I saw them live too, and I flipped my shit. Amazing song. Good guitar solo. Just super fucked up, depressing lyrics, but the music is just straight ahead. Just really aggressive. Probably their most aggressive song on the album, in my opinion. And Maddie's vocals changed a little compared to the others. He doesn't do as much like super high, like vile screams that he does on Indecent and Obscene, but it's still really good. Maddie's always sounded great. Probably their catchiest album song-wise. Massive Killing Capacity. On to the 4th album. This one I think might be the most varied song-wise. Is kind of a stupid album title in my opinion. Death metal. Album cover's great though, the artwork. But this includes the Misanthropic EP on it, which is really fucking good. And the Hill 112 from the Death Is Just the Beginning compilation. Yeah, these are such good songs. For the longest time, not longest time, but for a while, this was my favorite album just because of all the songs on it and how much I love them all and how varied they are. Of Fire, I knew I was gonna love the album as soon as I heard that. Like, super melodic, great chorus, awesome song. Trend Killer, great fucking great title. Because like people thought like after Massive Killing they're softening up, blah blah blah, but they come out of the gate with this fucking rager and just that's what the song's all about. I love that. Misanthropic, that's super fast. That song could be a sadist song if it wanted to. Like it's so fucking cool. Let the Napalm Rain, that one's super crushing mid pace. Live for the Fear of Pain, great song. That's probably my favorite aside from Of Fire. Stillborn Ways, When Hatred Killed the Light, that's so good. Ceremonial Comedy, Silent of the Watchers. Pagan Savior, which is an Autopsy cover. Why wouldn't they cover Autopsy? Their songs just bleed Autopsy. And especially in those old 90s photos, like, those guys were always wearing Autopsy shirts. Shadowlands, After Image, Shapeshifter, like they still kept the melodic aspects from Indie's Massive Killing Capacity, but they made it faster. It's definitely faster and more intense than that one. Not as good as the previous three or pieces in my opinion, but it's still I get spin it very regularly. Death Metal, the fourth album, and I also have it on cassette as well. I got it at Extreme Noise Records in my town. Fucking great record store. This is kind of their fastest album, their most to the point album, short songs, kind of like Violent Restitution. It's kind of like that. Like their Razor Violent Restitution is Hate Campaign. This has there's a version of this with an alternate artwork, which also looks cool, but I prefer this one. And there's also a version with bonus tracks that I haven't heard yet, and I don't know how I haven't. It was pretty recent when I heard about it, but this is their first album with like a couple lineup changes. It's not the original lineup, but holy shit, this has some really great songs. Again, keeping the more melodic aspect of death metal and Massive Killing Capacity, but speeding it up a bit. Suicidal Revelations, that is the perfect opener. Questionable Ethics, Retaliate, Enslaved to Bitterness, that is definitely my favorite. The melody writing on that song is so good. It's super memorable guitar parts. The guitar leads are just so infectious. I love that song. Mutual Animosity, Patrol 17, Bleeding Over, and Death's Cold Embrace, and the title track. Again, these are all super fast songs. There's no like interludes or like ominous intros or outros. It's just straight to the point. It is a different vibe, but in a really fucking good way. They didn't play any songs off this when I saw them, unfortunately. I wish they played Enslaved to Bitterness at least. But yeah, another banger from the Gods of Death Metal, Hate Campaign. On to the next album. This is probably my third favorite by them. Maybe tied with Massive Killing Capacity, but this is super good. I think it's better than the two that came before it, and the two that came after it, which, Iron Crosses Grow and the self-titled. Unfortunately, I don't own the two, but Iron Crosses Grow is super good too. That's got some great like Iron Maiden type songs, but with a death metal flavor to it. But anyway, The God That Never Was. This is the reissue. I actually like the previous version where the logo is a different color and it's like all the way across. The reissue, it's just up in the corner. But this is probably my third favorite, right behind Everflowing and Indecent. The title track it opens with the title track, super fast. Shadows of the Mutilated, that is the best, like the middle part of that song, that and everything after that is just so good. That is my favorite song on here by far. That's one of the best Dismember songs. Time Heals Nothing, Autopsy. I love that spoken word at the end, like Maddie just narrating it. What does he say? He goes, "Cutting through your flesh fills my mind with psychotic ecstasy." That is so fucking twisted and amazing. It's like the Malevolent Creation of Memorial Arrangements intro, but more like fucked up. I just love that outro. Never Forget, Never Forgive. That's super great chorus. super fast, hateful song. Trail of the Dead, Phantoms of the Oath. That's like the instrumental with the. It's mostly just guitar leads. They're just jamming out, no vocals. Super fucking good song. Blood for Paradise, Feel the Darkness. There's a couple mid-pace kind of autopsy type songs on this one, kind of like Massive Killing, but for the most part, it's just super fucking violent album. And the last song, Where No Ghost Is Holy, the really melodic one. Again, great guitar parts, really a lot of harmonized parts. That song's so good. Again, every song on here is good, but Shadows of the Mutilated specifically is just incredible. That song blew me away when I first heard it. And that's just side A of the album, you know. I think just side A is the most important for a record. Like, there's a reason why people worship, you know, Effigy the Forgotten and Tortured Existence and, you know, Paranoid and shit, where side A is just back to back insane. And this applies to all their albums, but this album specifically is fucking wild. But yeah, this isn't even the original lineup either, but they just managed to make it, just knocked it out of the park. And I like it more than the last two and the two after, which is, for discography wise, for a lot of bands, that's kind of rare. But this just absolutely destroys. Love the album artwork too. It's a kind of a different color other than orange. Fucking awesome. The God That Never Was. Now the last two releases we'll be moving to are bootlegs. And I do collect bootlegs. I don't have a ton, but I do have some. Is this 7-inch live bootleg split. Dismember and Obituary live in 1992. I think this was around a few months before Pieces came out, I believe, on their European tour. Campaign of Musical Destruction tour. Live in Milan, Italy, June 21st, 1992. Yeah, I think that was before Pieces was out. Dismember plays, it's one song on each side. Dismember is Skinner Alive. And Obituary plays Find Me Arise, which is a great song. If you've seen Obituary live, you can't listen to them on the studio and just the same ever again. They're meant to be a live band, Obituary. They just sound absolutely crushing, and this release is no exception. Maddie's vocals, this version of Skinner Alive, it is pretty raw sounding compared to the studio. It's more noisy, but he sings it a little differently. He has this was, again, around Pieces era, Indecent and Obscene era, like, so he had those super high screams, so when he sings Skinner Alive, it's more like, Skinner Alive, like, versus the studio version where it's more just kind of a shout, like, this, I love that version of Skinner Alive. It's fucking, he sounds absolutely deranged on that one. Well, he always does, but this version is just crazy good. But yeah, this is, I got this from Nuclear War Now, and it's just such a cool release. I've never heard of a live bootleg split 7-inch before. It's kind of a rare format to have a live bootleg split 7-inch, but yeah, this is a really cool release. Even though it's only one song, I wish the whole set was recorded. I wish someone would boot Dismember's entire set from this era. I would definitely buy that. It's fucking awesome. Gods of Death. And the last one is maybe the most uncommon thing I own as far as their discography goes. There is also that compilation, Obscure, Obscene, Unheard, which I heard is kind of rare and has like unreleased stuff on it. I would love to have that, but this is a full set live bootleg from the Hate Campaign tour, put out by Rika Death. It's called Blood Drips Like Rain. It's got the custom artwork too. It's fucking sick. I love that artwork, and it's autographed as well. And when they autographed it, I think Maddie was the first one that signed it, and I'm assuming he recognized it because he said, "Oh, this is from that Florida show, isn't it?" So I guess he knew, like, maybe someone else had shown him that bootleg before. When they were in their van, and I gave it to one of them and passed him around and signed it, David was just looking at it for a while. I think he'd never seen it before. And they were just like talking to each other, like just looking at the bootleg, and that's when he handed me that pic I showed. Like I think he just thought it was super fucking cool, and it's good to know because some bands like complain about bootlegs, and I understand why. But like if it's a live boot, chances are it's done by a diehard fan, so it's like why would you really complain about a bootleg in that context anyway, you know? So it's cool that like he appreciated it so much, and like how passionate I am about this band is shit like that is why the underground is always better than like the popular stuff, and why it'll always stick with me the most is the whole idea of not paying no bullshit VIP passes and stuff like that. That band members are just walking around. Anytime I go to a show of a band that I like, that I own stuff by, I always try to look for the guys and try to get it signed. I've done that many times at festivals as well. Festivals is a bit harder because there's so many people, but yeah, I always do that. It's just awesome. I always like to have autographs because you never know like what could happen. Like one of them could die tomorrow, you know, and God knows I'm probably never going to see Dismember with their original lineup ever again. So I'm really grateful to have this. And cool photos too. I don't know who took them, but it's fucking great. Yeah, I would have killed to see Dismember at this time, even though I'm lucky to have seen them. Like seeing them this era or in the 90s in their prime would be just surreal. This bootleg sounds good too, miraculous. Surprisingly, some bootlegs really sound bad, but they play hate campaign songs too. Suicidal Revelations, Questionable Ethics, Beyond Good and Evil. It's in order of like side A, which I thought was cool, but all those songs are sick. Bleed For Me they play, Of Fire, Trend Killer, Casket Garden, Skinner Alive, Collection by Blood, Mutual Animosity, another hate campaign song. Dreaming in Red and Override of the Overture. It's two of the greatest songs ever. They finished the set list off with that. Super fucking cool shit. I think it's a double LP if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. But yeah. Yeah, it comes on just a regular red vinyl. Super cool. I wish there were more Dismember live bootlegs. I'd definitely buy them. And I figured I'd show off the vinyl colors for the rest of the releases for those that are curious. Pieces comes on this black and red split type shit. That's cool as shit. It's the same color as my Merciless The Awakening LP. It's also on that exact same color pattern. But for Indecent and Obscene, it's like a clear with a red splatter. It's like blood splatter. Perfectly fitting for the art. I like when they match the artwork too. I really don't like if it's a nice looking like marble vinyl. I really don't like the whole, you know how Relapse did the Death reissues and they all look like bubble gum. It's just, what the hell. The Everflowing Stream one is kind of weird because it's, when I first got it, it just looked black. Like just looked like a black vinyl, but it's supposed to be like this green transparent type of thing. But like when you tilt it, like when it's on my turntable, it looks like just black vinyl. Still a cool pattern, but not as cool as Indecent and Obscene. Dismember is one of those bands that I'll listen to till the day I die, I feel like. I got into them so early, even though I've only been into metal since I was like 16 or 17, which is a little late because most people, it's like how people, dudes as young as 11 or 12 get into this shit. But I got into it, like underground stuff I got into when I was like 17, but yeah, Dismember's always gonna stick with me. I'd love to see them live again, and of course I don't own everything by them for reasons, but yeah, that's about it for my Dismember collection. I've been waiting to make a video like this just because they're my favorite death metal band, and I'll definitely do one for just to rattle off some names. Disaster I'll definitely do. I'm a huge Disaster fan. I'm considering getting a tattoo of them as well. I've never considered that in my life. That should tell you something about how great they are. Chevalier, Exodus I'll definitely do at some point. And maybe Nocturnal Mortem. That's my favorite black metal band, so I'll probably do a collection of them, among other stuff like top fives and just certain releases. You know, even Hell Ripper I'll do because their new album's gonna come out, so I'll do a video on Hell Ripper as well. But yeah, that's my Dismember collection. Gods of death metal, kings of Swedish death metal in my eyes. Amazing band. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.